This is Justin AMZN for Tuesday, November 20th, 2018, and we're looking at the daily. And today's price, so the low here is 1420. This is about a 30% pullback from the all-time high just a few months ago. If we zoom in to the 5-minute, we had the large sell-off yesterday. I was talking about this possibly gapping down and trading back up. That's what happened. It gapped down similar to this this move from this candle to this one, came down into the range of this hammer way back in April, and just got bought up. So a lot of bears taking profits, a lot of bulls still being trapped, finally getting out, and then some buying in. There was a lot of selling pre-market leading up to this. Initially, it looked like it was going to open up in here, which would have been a little more comfortable of a gap down, not trapping as many people. So probably would have traded up a little bit and then rolled over potentially. But with this massive gap down, this was just everybody else, all the bulls are finally getting out. They're like, all right, that's it. I'm going to get out. People are getting out. Bears are taking profits. And then it starts to get bought up and consolidates right here. I mean, look at this. It starts to kind of make this triangle, higher lows, lower highs, right on our two lines, then breaks out of that, races up, and looks like it's going to bounce around in these a little bit, almost gets up to 1528, gets up to 1526.99. Does not bounce exactly off the lines like I had hoped it would until it got over here. Well, I take that back. It actually did a pretty good job respecting, the 1514. But when it got up there, I was looking back at what happened yesterday. I'm thinking, 1514, it was a nice support there, but we did end up breaking it. It didn't hold as much as the 1534 price did. There was support here, resistance, 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 resistance. And look where we traded today, 1534.75, 1534.32, 1534 exactly. And that's all it had to get going bullish. So not to say that that's a small amount. It went from 1420 up to 1534, almost to the penny. I mean, within $1. But we had that price. I talked about that price yesterday. That was the price that we said, that I was saying this is a key point, key price point with how it traded yesterday. It's not a mystery that it would trade back up to that price today. And anybody who saw yesterday's video could have been getting ready to take their profits, all their profits, some of their profits, something here, and potentially load up for a reversal right here. It did double top right here, kind of triple top. But, it was respecting, from yesterday, it was respecting the 1534 price much better than the lines in here. It still traded to them, but so many touches to the 1534 price. I almost kind of want to redraw a line at 1534 and see, go back and look at, these two lines and see, could these have converged at this price instead? Because it was so long ago, I don't remember why these two lines are here, but I haven't gone back to look. Anyway, really amazing trade up, really amazing reversal right here at 1534. There are plenty of opportunities to buy, even being way out of the money. This is the 1550 call. It was down at $2 at open, $2. So you could have just bought there and risked $200, or waited and had some sort of trade where you're buying at 5, stop at 4, or any of these that are smaller candles like this one, getting in at 650 with a stop at 550. It just worked. Any place you bought with, a reasonable pullback, it worked, or reasonable breakout. Like this is a huge candle. But this is the 1550. It traded really nicely from this consolidation all the way up into 1514, pulled back, rallied up to 1534. It really, I mean, let's see, that wasn't the 15. No, it got up here. Sorry, 1514 was this one. It pushed through that and got up to 1526.99. So that 1526.99, this was the 1534.75. So it did make a higher high relative to what the stock was doing, which is good. But even this, it had some nice small candles here. This one, the range was 87 bucks. So, you know, you could even just bracket this thing bullish, you know, just taking that. Had you even done just that one, let's say you bought at 1475 with a stop at 1375 and you got out at 2075. So that would have been 6R right there. Just that, just 15 minutes, 10 minutes of just that. Plenty of opportunities to just get in on some smaller candles. And then as this starts to make a little bit of a lower high, you take your profits and start to look, because that's the level we're looking at for a pivot. And so let's see, what time was this at? This one where it hit 1534 on the dot, that was 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock is right here. We actually put a low in at 555, and then the next candle we made a low of 550, and that I think stayed the low. Yeah, so the lows of 550 and the highs, I mean, the range in these candles is under a buck, most of them. So look at this one, 24 cents. So 550 price, you could have been buying 650 by 550, or even here 6 by 5, and just held on to the reversal, or taking some profits pretty quickly here, getting 2R up to here, a pullback. Let's see, 675 there. So it didn't quite get back to 650. But that moved up to 1210, 1290, 13. So, you know, the 650 would have doubled, or 650 to like 1250. That's another 6R on the bearish side. So this is the 1450 price, our option we were looking at yesterday for something. I think we were looking at one of those reversals, 1534 price maybe. But this one was still up on my chart when I fired on my charts tonight to do the video. So anyway, had you looked at another option, you could have looked at the 1500. I mean, just look at the prices that we've seen. I mean, so the 1500 put, yesterday's open, the low was 730. Prior day's low was, the prior day's close was 685. And today we opened at 77.30. The high was 80. Now, I doubt anybody, you know, actually bought one of these lows through here and sold way up here at the top. But from here, I mean, you could have been buying at 8 and selling at 80. You know, like that's a phenomenal move in a day from one open to the next open. So for the put, it was a bearish retest gap. It makes sense that the put pulled back so much, and then the 11 o'clock price, let's see, right here, the low here is 1550. So you would have had to have a larger R to be getting into the 1500 put, even though at one point this was $34 out of the money. So I liked the smaller amount that you had to put up to buy for the 1450 put, but the 1500 put, it was still decent just because you had like some smaller candles in here. This one was 92 cents. This one was 47 cents. So there were some opportunities in here, and then the move was a lot better. So let's say you got in on this one, got in at 19 and a stop at 18. Well, that moved pretty quickly up to 23, pulled back, came almost back down to 19. It's So that would have been about break even, making you a little nervous that it's going to pull back, much further, and then rallies from there and goes on up to 30. So let's say you got in at 19, get out at 29. That's 10R. That's 10R on this option that you couldn't get on the 1450. It just didn't trade far enough. The price that we were seeing here was actually getting back. The 1500 put was actually getting back into the money through this whole area, but it just chopped sideways here for the last couple hours of the day. So, I mean, it put in its move. So if anybody was looking to get in to play this, it had already made its move bullish, had already retraced bearish. That was it for the day. And even after hours, just sideways, similar to yesterday, slightly lower. But Wednesday, my guess is will be a quieter session. It should not have, I take that back. It could still have a large move because there will still be people wanting to do something, get in, get out, whatever, before a holiday, before Thanksgiving. And then Friday should be pretty light on volume. When these lighter days, I'm just trying to remember back to last year and other years, on some of these days that are expected to be lighter, or like this week, which, this being a holiday week, seeing this kind of a large move, I mean, people aren't running away, to go on their vacation. There's still people trading this, or they've left orders in place that are stops are getting hit. But this is a lot. Today was a lot of volume to buy back up. This is significant. It's not quite as much volume as we had on this day. The range here was 64.63. The range we had today was 114.75. So significantly larger range, but didn't quite have the volume. So, have a little bit lighter volume these 2 days than we had for these 2 days. And I'm not necessarily saying that's because of the holiday, but, the bearish move was much, much larger here than this one. So, we got the bearish retest. It's retested. It could just kind of consolidate in here, all day on Wednesday, and then on Thursday again, do something similar to these two. I'm sorry, Wednesday and then Friday's shorter session. So Friday does the market closes early on Friday. If we have this kind of a gap up, I would want it to open a similar location. If it could get that far up and get up above this opening above this candle, I think that'd be significant. It almost set up for another opportunity for a retracement to fill that kind of bullish retest. I don't know that it can get above the high even of today. The 1534 price is a pretty significant price. So we'll really watch that. If we can get above it, look for either a quick pullback to retest it and then a rally up higher. Or if it runs into it and can't really get a good close above it, look for it to pull back again and have another opportunity to go short off the 1534 price Wednesday or Friday, or both potentially. So, this price has been key since yesterday, and we'll see how well it plays out doing something tomorrow. It's really interesting. I always like when we've got these levels right in the lines. We've got our line at 1500. We're right there, 14.99 on the after hours close. And we were right at that same place after hours yesterday. So, it's always worth looking at the pre-market to see what's happening, how it's moving, and this one set up for a massive retracement. We'll see if we have any sort of directional move pre-market that's going to help lend itself to a move as the market opens. So we'll review that tomorrow. And I still do plan on doing videos Wednesday and Friday, just to recap, whatever's going on those days. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll continue to look at what's happening in AMZN. This is just an AMZN. Thanks.